Chip was a guard, my guard for, I can't remember how many years. He played just about as long as what I did. And Chip was one of them guys you could always count on whenever, and we ran a lot of screens, and Chip would always get a block on that screen. And that was, you know, Chip wasn't the biggest guy, but as far as strong and getting into people, I mean, downfield blocking, there was nobody in the league that could keep up with Chip Bowers. He was a beast.
And I'll tell you, Chip was a solid player. Once he engaged in a block on you, it was hard to get away from him. And that's what I remember about Chip. A gentleman, never really got overboard with trash talking or anything. He was a good, solid player.
Good teammate. We had a lot of good times after the games, and that's what flag football was all about, was having the guys that you could count on and have a good time with.
Chip Bowers, offensive line. Started out with, I guess, Hagerstown Floors, went to Quality T-shirts, basically the same team. Then I branched off and went to J&L Floors and Glenn's Tavern. Come back and played for Miller Lite a couple years in the early 2000s, and a couple more years around 2008 or so, I don't know, somewhere around there. Greatest flag football memory was probably somewhere in the early 90s. We had some really good teams in the early 90s. We went down to the States and we played a team, I can't remember if it was the Cowboys or the Packers, but we played them, and we played them pretty tough. They beat us, but after the game, we found out they had 4 guys on their team that had Super Bowl rings. And I was known for a pulling guard. I come from pulling around on the screen. And I was used to guys in our league kind of playing back and off and playing with your hands. Well, this guy laid me out. I mean, he was a safety and laid me out. Well, come to find out it was Vernon Davis that played for the Skins. And that's probably a bad memory, but it was a memory. I'd like to thank my wife, first of all, for putting up for all these years. I mean, all these years I played. And then, of course, Mike Huffman, he's the one who got me out to play in 1980. It was kind of funny, I come out to play for, he said, you know, where do you play? I said, well, defensive line is where I played in school. He said, all right. So I come out and he stuck me on the offensive line, and that's where I stayed I played for about 18 years, I guess, and the offensive line is where I stayed. So I have to thank Mike and just everybody I played with. Played with a bunch of great guys, and you know, we drank beer after the games, pretty much the same bunch of guys, and a lot of fun.